Morning all, hello and welcome to Wayne's Allotment. I say morning because it's 6:05, 9th of July. The weather this week hasn't been particularly brilliant for getting a lot done in the garden, allotment, whatever. So I've not really been able to get a great deal done, but I thought I'll just come down and show you a few things of what's happening and what I've done. So I'll turn you around and show you the way. Right. One thing that I've ended up having to, I wanted to show you my broccoli. But I've had to cut it. But I will show you what's occurring in that department before we go any further. You might not be able, let's have a look up this end. This is possibly it's hard to see. Can you see through this netting? But basically, as you can see there, I've cut the heads. There is extra little florets. It's hard to see through here. Be better during the... Is that a bit better? There you go. You can see another head that's coming there by my finger. The main head was there. And that's how they've all gone. They've gone absolutely berserk. You can't really tell that well looking at this, so I won't try and show you, but there's cabbage, cauliflower and sprouts in there. Leeks, may as well show you them while we're looking at them. There's about 90 plants here. I think there's about 4 that have died on me and gone west, but apart from that, everything else is looking pretty good. Let's go up to the top end at the potatoes. Right, well, what can I say? Every picture paints a story, or something, is it? If that lot is anything to go by, hopefully there's going to be a lot of spuds to go at. Maris Piper, and then the end there, Sarpomera. Just give you a quick nose over there. Rhubarb, we've been picking that's been going to family. We've been having rhubarb crumble and such like fairly regular. The gooseberries that are there, had gooseberry crumble. I now am seeing the error of my ways with regards to not doing a great deal with the weed problem or whatever that was along here. I now know that next year, or maybe even a bit later on this year, I don't know yet, it all needs treating with some weed killer. And I think I'm going to, now that I know what's what, I'll get and kill what I can of that. Runner beans doing nicely, really going well, going over the, you can see, going over the tops now of the canes. I know the canes aren't particularly that long, but I shall just pinch them tops off. Considering these, when these first went in, they were quite sickly, and I honestly did think they were all going to die, but I've got to say, a completely different picture now. Sweet Success lettuce down there, not doing too bad. And going back across here, me French dwarf beans, although there aren't many of them now, they seem to have died off a bit. They're not doing too bad. This sweet corn, this is strawberry sweet corn. Now, when I say strawberry sweet corn, I don't mean it's a cross between sweet corn and strawberries, but it's going to hopefully something comes of it, it's going to be red coloured sweet corn. Broad beans, been hit with a bit of green fly, black fly even, but we've had 3 lots of pickings. Now when I say a lot, as in 3 lots of pickings, I'm looking at about half a carrier bag. So at the moment I've had a carrier bag and a half off them. Peas, getting a bit overgrown with weeds. There's a different approach I'm going to use with these next year. I'm not going to go down this approach with these. I also can see that I've got them fairly close to the broad beans, and I think I need to space things out, but I have got plans for this plot for next year. That's about it there. Let's go back up here, try and get that sun behind us. There we go, the sun is out the way now. Swiss chard, don't really need to say a great deal about that. I know some people will have Swiss chard a lot further advanced than this, but this only went in probably 6 weeks ago at tops. Next to that, those 2 there, I've got golden beetroot and white beetroot, so quite pleased with the way that's doing. Parsnips, this last row is a bit sparse, but the other row isn't too bad at all. I think I've got about 3 missing out of this first row here. Some Lollo Rosso lettuce, as can be seen, just in between them. The beetroot. Now I did say, oh yes, I'm going to get and thin that out. Well, I haven't. All as I've done with it is I've thinned it out through picking of beetroot, and I can't really moan. It's come along quite nicely. Onions, I've missed the carrots, you notice, but zoom in, you can see that is bursting point. I have picked some of those, and very nice they are, not particularly that big at the moment. Onions, I've lifted 2 or 3 onions, and they're not bad at all. I'm just going to wait for the tops to die off on some of them. Shallots, doing nice, bunching up like crazy. Where are we? Let's move that. As you can see, doing quite nicely. And these Ishikuru onions, the ones I'd got in the greenhouse, they're all done and dusted now, so I'll be starting to pick some of these shortly. And looking at them down the bottom, we zoomy at Nat's whisker. As you can see, quite large, very spring onion stroke leek size. Radish, picking odd radish out now and again, and thinning them out as I'm picking them. And then this is swede, which I plan to thin out this next week and put into one of my raised beds on my other plot. What can I say? I'm quite pleased with everything. Got a few plans to change a few things. I'm looking hopefully next year at mainly growing on here potatoes. I'm thinking of putting about 6 rows of potatoes in, which will take me up to roughly where the broad beans are. Then that's going from the front here, because at the moment my potatoes are at the back. So this next year, with crop rotation, I'm looking at putting potatoes at the front here. Probably put some broad beans down the back there, I'll take you to Wookies up to my other plot, so that you can see basically the layout of our allotment area, and I can give you a quick update on what's going on up there. Yes, I've been having a bit of a thought with regards to what to do, and because I'm trying to move from one plot to another with doing various things, trying to keep on top of, as can be seen, my first plot that's down there, I'm struggling keeping on top of the weeds. Let me just show you something. That I did think was an artichoke. It isn't. It's some flower of some sort. I forget what the name is, but I believe it's very, very nice when it's out. Yeah, so I'm just going to try and excuse me, I'm just going to try and concentrate on growing majority of my veg up on this plot we're going to now, with it being raised beds. I'm finding already that they're a lot easier to oh, pardon me, they're a lot easier to stay on top of. So I thought, well, I'll put potatoes in that other plot, or mainly put potatoes in, along with some beans, peas and such like. Right, here we are. This is plot number 2. Let's just, I'll show you, I've mulched a little bit round the rhubarb. I don't know what's happened here, something, struck rhubarb leaf there from here by the look. Oh well, but I've mulched round those, a little bit of muck. I've got potatoes there, Majestics and Orla, all doing quite nicely. They look like they'll soon be oh, hello, here's Whiskey come to. Hello, yes, I know, it's lovely, isn't it? Eh? Fantastic allotment, should win a prize for being best kept. Yeah, I know, yeah, make a bit of a fuss. Right, clear off, cat. So let me show you what's what here. Peas, this I'm quite pleased with these. What I've done with these are just a double row. I forget exactly how many peas I put in now, but it's just a double row and then caned and strings. And I've got to be honest, I'm going to find it easier picking these, I think, than picking them from off my other plot, but that'll be because of getting at the weeds. It's so overgrown. Onions, I've got some red onions and some white. I think the red, or is it Red Baron, and then the white, or I think it's Stuttgart. They're doing okay. Celery, I think the celery and the sweet corn, the reason why these are doing so well here is because this soil is very clayey and it's holding the moisture, and from what I can remember reading about celery in particular, it does like to grow in a sort of boggy environment. There's as we can see, tassels come in on one or two of these, another one there, so this is starting to do quite nicely. In here 2 rows of carrots, hence the netting. Some swede in the middle, which every time I come and look at this it seems to have grown bigger and bigger. And then Oloroso lettuce, which that looks like that's shot up from nowhere. Beans, there, those are Pickwick dwarf runner beans. There's a little bit of Swiss chard that I've put in there just to fill that bit of a gap. French dwarf beans, I think there's about 13 there. They're doing quite nicely, can't moan with them. The sweet corn that's in there, that extra sweet corn, that's the sweet corn I've had to rescue. It was growing in toilet roll tubes that had got a lot of mould on them after a while, and I thought to myself, oh, I better just put them into pots. I've potted them up. I did think they were all going to die, but they haven't. They're doing quite nicely, as you can see. I potted them on, they picked up, I've put them out. I don't know whether I'm going to get any crop off them, not when you consider that those are the same, were planted at the same time as these. But we'll see what happens. Courgettes, doesn't really seem to be a lot of anything happening with these, but I've never grown courgettes before, so it's almost looking like I'm flogging a dead horse. A couple of more raised beds here that I've made up, put in place, and as you can see I've got these two here. The plan will be, let me just go and stand over here so that I can show you a bit easier. Right, whiskey's following me again. The plan will be, where those couple of raised beds are there, I will put another 4 across there to match those existing 4. I can then put next to them along here another 5 of those. Once these potatoes are out the way, I can put another 5 in. The plan is to then put in roughly here a shed, an 8x6 shed. The potatoes will have gone by then, and the plan will then be to put, I think I can get 3 more 1.8 metre long beds in there. They are 2.4 metres, these others. Tell a lie, those existing 4 are 2.1 metres. That's right, because this timber that I got is 2.4 metres long. But that's the plan anyway. It's going to give me, including those 2 beds up there that the courgettes are in, it's going to give me about 19 beds. I think I worked it out at 18 or 19 beds. All in all, I'm quite pleased with the way things are going. I can't moan too much at all about any of it. This lavender, let's just have a look, see how that's, yeah, that's not bad. That's me, I think it come from Aldi, about 175 a plant that was. The sunflowers are not, well, this one here is not particularly that sparkling, but hey. But anyway, I'll leave you to it. I just thought I'd show you what's happening, how things are going. Thank you everybody that's subscribed and asked questions and what have you. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself with what I'm doing at the moment, and I think that's what it's all about. I've got a few ideas that I'll try and I'll run with next year, but I'm going to sign off because I'm starting to waffle again. So it's TTFN, and I'll see you all in the next video. Ta-ra a bit.